Hey guys, let me change the camera angle. There we go. See, I was gonna do this without glasses, but this looks really weird. I'm sorry, I can't, because it's really blurry, and I don't like that, so we're gonna put these on. Okay, as the title suggests, this is some questions and some things that have happened to me because of my visual impairment. And before I start, I'm not trying to make anyone feel angry, or some of these might make people angry, but I'm not trying to. I just want people to understand, and this YouTube is a great place to learn things, so so why don't we do that? Okay, the first thing is, what is it called? When I was like really young, I don't know if I should do these in order, or this is just coming from the heart, so I don't know if I should do these like in order or from nice and fluffy to people are gonna be ticked off. Okay, but let's just stick with nice and fluffy first, because this is totally unscripted, so as you can tell. So, and some of these have happened to other people as well. So, for example, I was actually in the mall shopping by myself, and this little girl, and I was afraid because she was like little, she was like 3 years old, and I think I was done eating. I was eating at a food court, and I was, done eating, and I got down and I used my white cane that I use, and I was about to go somewhere, probably home or shopping, or I don't know what I was doing, but this little girl passed me, and she was following her mom, and she looked at me and she goes, she was talking about my cane, and she goes, "Why do you have that?" And I go, "Well, because I can't see." This is a kid, that's innocent, that's innocent, I don't mind. Now, if an adult asked me that, I would be like, that's a random question. But it was a kid, so, and I go, because I can't see. And she's like, "Oh, okay." And she ran with her mom. She tried to go catch up with her mom, but it was really cute. Oh, okay. And one time, one of my friends was going with her other friends to the mall, and they had to cross a street. Obviously, they had to cross a street with like a crosswalk, and they ran into this woman, and the woman's like, "I feel really unsafe about you crossing the street." And she's like, "We do this all the time, we do this all the time. It's not that big of a deal. We've done this so many times." And I don't think it was just it had a crosswalk and everything, but, we're like, "We do this all the time." Or she said that. She's like, "We do this all the time." And, the lady passed, and they thought nothing of it. The lady passed, was like, okay. And a few minutes later, they're still walking, about to cross the street. I think they were, and they run into a cop. The lady found a cop to find my friends, and the cop was like, "Hey, a lady informed me that you were trying to cross the street." And she's like, "Yeah, yes. We told her everything was good, blah, blah, blah." And I bet in their minds they were like, "We didn't think she was going to get a cop." And he goes, "Well, I'm not letting you cross the street." And they were like, "Oh crap, we need to get to the mall." Like, we have things to do. and we have things to do, and you know, we have to get to the mall. And she goes, okay. She goes, you're not crossing the street, and I'm gonna lead you over the street in a cop car. And they're like, I think they thought maybe that he was joking. And so they went to the mall and crossed the street in a cop car. And she made a joke. She's like, I should have asked him, tell him like, we need a ride back at such and such time. What, the cops are Uber drivers now? Like what is this? And yeah, the cops apparently are Uber drivers in that area where my friend was. So yeah, that was hilarious. And I think I already told the story. I made a video, a smaller video, later, and I might delete it because I think this one's going to be a lot more entertaining and a lot more time for stories. But I was actually on a plane, and I have a cane that folds up, so I can take it with me. I think the longer canes that do not fold up, you're not allowed. They take it from you because there's no room, and they take it from you. But I have a cane that folds up, so I had it with me. And I was about to get off the plane, and I unfolded my cane so I could walk, and I waited for everyone just because the plane is very crowded, so I try and wait for everyone. And it's kind of a pain, but it's easier than having like luggage fall on your head or something crazy like that. So I usually wait, and the stewardesses also help me, and if I need help. But anyway, I was behind, no, an elderly couple was behind me, and they saw I unfolded my cane, and it, you know, unfolded nicely, and he looked at me and he goes, I thought that was a foldable golf club. I was gonna ask you where you got that. Yeah, I was gonna, hold on. It says that I need charging. Hold on, I don't know what's going on. Oh, hold on a minute, guys. Okay, we're good now. Sorry about that, guys. What the hell? What the heck? Hold on. I don't... Okay, there we go. I had zoom. I think I accidentally pushed the zoom button, and my face looked really big. Okay. I was like, ew, what happened? Because my face was really big. Okay, anyway, he asked me, you know, what, you know, he's like, I thought that was, see, it ruined the story. Okay, he asked me, he was like, I thought that was a foldable golf club. I was gonna ask you where you got that. And then, I think they sound like they've been married a long time, and his wife was like, oh, he always has golf on the brain. It was hilarious. And see if anyone is watching. No, they're not watching. Okay. Yeah, so, you know, that's something, you know, that was kind of funny. And I probably have a lot more, I have a lot more that aren't like hilarious, that are more like cringe-worthy, like, did you just ask me that? But they're not coming to me right now. Um, but yeah, I have a lot more cringeworthy stuff than I thought it was cute, or funny. For example, I had a teacher at where I was that was blind, and she had won some type of basket, like, like a goodie basket, and she said that, she'd won this, but she didn't know what basket she won. I think there was stuff with like perfume in it and stuff like that, but there was also a cooking basket. And she walks up there to claim her prize, and she's like, which one did I win? I'm sorry. Did I win the cooking basket or the perfume fancy girly stuff basket? And she's like, and they go, well, you won the basket with the cooking stuff. And she goes, oh, okay, cool, thank you. And they go, but who helps you cook? And she's thinking to herself, she's like, well, I have a husband and 2 children, so I cook. And it was very cringeworthy. There's probably so many cringeworthy people. Like, I'm sure if I put another blind person with me, we'd have like hours of just cringeworthy stuff. Okay, this one's kind of funny. I had a friend. I don't feel right giving names. I just, they're probably on Facebook, but I don't feel right giving names. I don't think that that's right. But I had a friend who was completely blind, and he's never seen, and he was able to play like the first 3 generations of Pokemon, because of like the sound, and he memorized all the Pokemon cries. And of course he couldn't like use items or anything. He had to like grind all of his Pokemons, yes, I said Pokemons, up. And he was joking. He was like, what was my name? A. And he goes, what was my rival's name? A. And basically, apparently his walkthrough experience was him finding a walkthrough online so he would know where to go, and him pressing A like all the time, which really stinks because in some of those games you do not want to press A. You want to press the B button to decline stuff, and then you end up pressing A. But he can't see. But I mean, that it's like, oh, do you want an egg? Oh, but he probably didn't do that. But in like the towns have different things, different music and stuff. And he memorized all the cries, and he could tell you like, oh, that's Zubat, or oh, that's Geodude, which is really cool. I actually had a friend of mine. I think I was playing. I told him, I was joking. I go, Pokemon's addictive. And he said, and he goes, yeah, it's addictive. And he hadn't seen me in a long time. Like, he's from another country, so he hadn't seen me in a long time. And he saw me. He saw me, and he was like, wait, you can see? I go, didn't you know that? Like we've been friends. I don't know. Maybe he didn't think he hadn't seen me in a long time, but I was like, yes. And he was like, well, I kind of figured because you're playing Pokemon with the newest Pokemon game with like a touch screen, like it has a touch screen, so that'd be probably really difficult with someone that can't see. And I was like, yeah, I can see some, um, so yeah, I just thought that was really funny. And now we're getting on to I have a lot more cringe-worthy stuff than I do funny stuff. Some of it is funny, but some of it is very horrible and kind of cringe-worthy, and um, and really kind of sad. And I'm not trying to make you guys sad or anything. I just want people to understand, like, this is coming from someone who has weak sight, and this is stuff that I myself and other people have experienced, and just to be aware of things. That's, I mean, to me, like I said before, that's what, I can't pull my chair up, YouTube is for. I'm on like this little hassock thing. When my puppy's not here, she could sit with me right here. Well, she doesn't like to share. She's a bad puppy. She doesn't like to share her space. Anyway, before I've been asked, speaking of puppies, I've been asked, well, why don't you have a guide dog? And I was like, well, and people, I don't understand, I don't know what people think a guide dog is. Like, they know it helps blind people, but they don't understand that there's a lot that goes into owning a guide dog and even getting a guide dog. And I'm not a guide dog owner. I just know a lot about it, just from, I have had friends that have guide dogs and things of that nature. So I do know a little bit about the process. But I've never gone through the process of owning a guide dog, or I've never owned a guide dog, but I do know some of the rules and some of what it entails. I'm not an expert, so if you are a blind person watching this, or if you're a guide dog, if you work for an organization, please comment down below if I'm misinformed a little bit or I mess up. So please, I want to know that, so then I'll know for future. But I've been asked, why don't I have a guide dog? And I said, well, it's a lot of responsibility. And they go, what do you mean? And like, at the end of the day, it helps people navigate things, but at the end of the day, it is a dog, and if something were to happen, like vet bills are a thing, and at the end of the day, it's not a robot, it is a living, breathing animal that can have the same maladies, can have the same illnesses that regular dogs get. It's not immune to, to certain illnesses. And I don't understand why people don't understand that. But I think they think, oh, these dogs are so wonderful and they help the people that can't see. Now, I know a lot of people think that, oh, well, she can't travel by herself. Like, she doesn't have the skills to travel, And I've had people say this to me about other people, not necessarily me. they say, you know, just get her a guide dog, it's fine. It's like, it doesn't work like that. If you do not have good travel skills, you're not getting a guide dog. Like, that's how it works. You're not getting a guide dog. It's not a miracle. And I think a lot of people with certain things, they expect miracles, or when students go to certain programs at blind schools, they expect these miraculous things to happen, and in 2 weeks it's not a lot of time, and we're doing other things, and people expect miracles, and that's not how it works. And I think people need to understand that. That's not how it works. You know. And just cringeworthy. I've had a lot of cringeworthy stuff just from childhood. Just the way people would talk to me. I think a lot of people think that blind people are stupid. You know, and which is far from the case. Far from it, I should say. Far from it. But when I was younger, I was talked to like I was stupid by both teachers and my fellow students, and it ticked me off because a lot of times I was older than a lot of my peers because of when my birthday fell. But I was still talked to like I was this cute little blind girl, and I know if there was like, because kids get hurt all the time, but if a blind person gets hurt, I think more people are worried about like lawsuits, because a lot of people are worried about people being sued, and which there are a lot of people I'm sure would do that, and I think that that's disgusting. Like, kids get hurt all the time, but if a blind person wants to do such and such a thing, it's like a crisis. And this is things that I've experienced within, like, I'm be like, why can't I do that? That's ridiculous. Like, now there are some things I can't do for my safety. Like, I can't do anything that could involve me getting hit in the head, because if my retina could detach, so I kind of steer away from those kind of sports where there are projectiles going around. But what in the crud is this? Sorry, they want me to verify all this stuff, and I'm doing a live stream. See, technology gets me off my train of thought. Yeah, anyway, I try and steer clear of like projectiles. And that's like the only thing I don't really, I'm kind of leery about, but everything else I do enjoy. I've done like water skiing before, and that was a lot of fun. And I have a picture of one of my friends back in the day. It was beautiful because someone snapped the pictures really fast, and his expression changed throughout the different pictures. It was hilarious because he was like, what? He had a WTF is going on face. Like he was getting up and he was like, And then once like he got up and he was able like, hey, yay, I'm skiing. He was like, yay! It was hilarious. It's hilarious. I'll have to look for that picture, but that could be like a thumbnail. No, no, I don't know him too well anymore, so I wouldn't do that. But I've done a lot of different things as long as it's not projectiles, involving projectiles. I've done water skiing. A couple months ago, my friends and we all went ice skating and regular skating and oh no, I have to scratch my eye, sorry. Regular skating, and I actually went to a university, I'm not going to say which one, and I jumped off we were doing a thing where we just tried different things, and I got to jump off of a really high, like high dive, and I think I got to one, I didn't dive off of it, I just jumped off of it. And then I was even scared of the biggest one there was. I think I did the first one and the middle one, but then the third one, I was like, no, I have standards, I guess. And a couple years ago, I did gymnastics, and I loved that a lot. And just I've done a lot, and I've done ropes courses and things of that nature. That was a lot of fun, and I'm really active, and I just love like walking and doing yoga and I don't really like team organized sports because I've had issues with that, but I do love being active, but I don't like really competing in anything. I think it's really good for people to compete. You know, accomplishments of doing something, but that's just not me. But I do love being active. Like a couple days ago, I was like dancing around my apartment like a nerd, and I had my Bluetooth headphones on, and I was just dancing to everything from like Celine Dion to like Toni Braxton, and that's one reason I try and keep clutter out of my apartment, because I don't want to like trip and fall. That would be horrendous. Anyway, yeah, but like, where was I getting off at? I was getting to the point where, like, when I was younger, you know, if something happens to a blind person, hurt-wise, if they get injured, it's a crisis. Like, someone told my vision teacher, and my vision teacher was really good, and she was like, you know, she just had compassion for everyone, and I think I ran into something. I was running and I ran into something, and I like probably brazed it. I don't think I ran smack into it, but I did kind of like braze it, like get it, and I had like a bump on my head, but they were like, they were like, you know, there was an accident. Oh my God, it's a freaking crisis. And my teacher was like, okay, is she dead? And they go, no, but oh my God, she got hurt. Like, oh my gosh, it's like a crisis. And she goes, is she in class? Well, yes, but it's still a crisis. And she goes, then she's probably fine. Jesus. She didn't say Jesus, but I'm sure she didn't say Jesus. But she's like, then she's probably fine. Well, recently, a couple years ago, I was in the emergency room, and because I had tripped over something and I cut, and it could have gone in my eye, I like cut my above my eye right here, and I have this like really hardcore scar. Probably it's probably not as noticeable, but because I have like eyebrows and stuff. But anyway, I probably have a scar, and so I had to go to the St. Joseph's emergency room, and I said, well, is it, because I've never had stitches before. I can honestly tell you, of all the accidents I've had the minor bumps and bruises, but until that time, I have never had stitches. My animals have had more stitches my dog has probably had more stitches than I have. She has, because I've only had one set of stitches. And so I didn't know, I knew a little bit, but I didn't know much about stitches. And so I was like, well, what can I do? And they go, you can just do everything. And I think they probably didn't think I was like active. And I go, so I can still tumble? And they go, well, you didn't tell me you did that. And I was like, I'm thinking in my head, I don't want to say anything. I'm like, okay, I'm just trying to get this over with. But in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I just asked you what I can do, and you should have told me. And they were like, you didn't tell me you did that. It's like, I just asked you like 5 seconds ago what I could and couldn't do, and you were just like, oh, just live your life. I don't know what she thought I did, but I mean, yeah, but I don't know what she thought I did, but yeah. And you know, but you know, I'm done. You know what, I'm done. But anyway, and another experience that I've had with my teacher, and he was kind of an a-hole. He wasn't kind of an a-hole, he was an a-hole. And for people with disabilities, they have like ARD meetings where they discuss the like, you know, the things that are required to do the job. Not to do the job. Hey guys, I'm really sorry. Hold on, let me. My iPad just died and it's plugged in. I'm really sorry. Oh my god. I forgot what I was talking about. I was like, wait, what happened? And then, technology. Technology. I'm sorry. Come back, viewer, whoever you were. I'm so sorry. Jesus. Okay. What was I talking about? I totally forgot what I was talking about. Oh my, okay. Okay. My iPad died. Oh my, okay, anyway. And I checked if it was plugged in. So, I have it plugged in. I have this cord in. And see the cord, it's plugged in. And you know what, I'm done. Okay, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Okay, anyway. Oh, I was talking about cringeworthy stuff that happens whenever you have a visual impairment. Um, um, I was talking about very cringeworthy stuff, and some of it is just, you know, you're treated like, in the school system especially, and it's probably different now because I was one of the first persons to, when that law was invented, that visually impaired people have to have the same rights, or people with disabilities have to have the same rights. So I hope it's different now. If it is, you know, if it is, let me know. That way I will, I can, you know, let other people know, or other people will know. Um, yes, but I mean, I've noticed that you're treated like you're stupid and you're, you know, an invalid, which is very far from it. And you're talked down to. I was talked down to. Like, I remember going to the bus, and you know, I knew, my mother and my teachers taught me where my routes were, and I knew to go into the school and how to get into the school. But I remember the first day I got into junior high, I was waiting, you know, waiting for, like, I was like, I can get off the bus. And I was like, what are we waiting for? Why are we still here? Because everyone else got off the bus. But I had to be walked. And they go, and you know, they were talking to me like I was stupid. And they were like, do you know who this is? Like, every day I'm like, and I told my mom, I go, can we do something so I don't have to walk with that annoying lady, because I know where I'm going? And so my mom did something. Oh, anyway, I was going to tell you about, like, ARDs, okay? ARDs are where, people with disabilities, you tell them what accommodations they need, and blah, 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 blah. And some teachers, they're like, I don't think I'll be able to do that. And my teacher's like, you have to, it's the law. If you can't do it, we're going to find someone that will. But when I was in kindergarten, they actually, these stupid morons of people, and if you're doing this to children, and you're treating them like this, and it doesn't matter who you are, but especially if you're working with children, you're in the teaching profession, or if you're a parent, I have no respect for you. This story coming up, I think it's disgusting what they tried to do to me. And the people that are doing this and still wanting to enact this, I have no respect for you. When I was in kindergarten, again, this is a crisis if blind people want to do something, and they were concerned that I was too active. And my mom's like, she's in kindergarten. Like, what kindergartner is not too active? Like, your whole class is active. It's kindergarten. They're 5 years old. And they go, but, you know, it's a problem. And not all schools are like this, okay? I want to make that clear to my non-American viewers. Not all schools are like this. I've gone to some great schools, okay? My elementary school that I went when we transferred from that horrible school, when I was in after kindergarten, I transferred, that school was really great as far as teachers go. Now some of the kids were morons, but anyway, but a lot of the teachers were really great and really supportive. So not to all my American viewers, not all schools are like this, and I hope that no one has ever done this to a child. But anyway, I was in kindergarten. See, I get off topic. I was in kindergarten, and they were worried that I was too active, and my mom's like, well, she is a child. Like, I bet you have, like, kids that are a lot more active than she is. Like, why is that a problem? And they go, well, it is a problem. So, we're going to strap her to her seat with a bungee cord. Like, this is serious. I'm not making this up. And my mom's like, no, you're not. That is not cool. Like, that is not cool. She's like, what is wrong with you? Like, this is not cool. And she goes, okay, you thought all this out, right? So I want to know an explanation. What if there's like a fire? What are you going to do? And she's like, well, and they go, it won't affect her, it's fine. And she goes, yeah, you're right, it's not going to affect her because, you're not going to do that to my child. Like, that is not cool. And to parents and teachers that are doing this kind of stuff, I have no respect for you. What is wrong with you to do that to try and do that to your child? That never happened to me. The idea that they thought of that is just disgusting, in my opinion. That is horrendous. And and I hope that it's never happened to anybody. And if it has, tell me your story in the comment section or make a response to this video. I'd love to hear it. And another time I was in my reading class, and I was older, and it was in the one I was going to tell you before it shut off. The teacher was kind of an a-hole, and he was an a-hole, what am I saying? And so, because our desks, I believe it was this one, our desks were like those things with like, the desk is connected to the chair. Oh God, I hate those. Anyway, does anyone else hate those? I hate those, they're annoying. Because if you drop something on the right side, the desks are really small, and you drop something on the the left side of the desk, you're having to reach over and grab it, and it's annoying. Or you have to get up out of your chair, and they're annoying. But my teacher, who was an a-hole, he was like, well, I don't want to deal with it because she takes a long time to get stuff ready and stuff like that. And, we don't have time for this. And my mom's like, well, I have an idea for you. Because my mom didn't like him. She goes, I have an idea for you. We can get you, because there's like a simulator, which is like a thing, and you can see kind of what I see. It's not exact because everyone's vision is different, but you can like wear these like little glasses things. They look like kind of goggles. And I don't know where you get them. You'd probably have to do some type of training to see that. But you'd have to do some type of training. And my mom's like, but you can pretty much see what I see, which is really interesting, which is really kind of cool. And I wish they weren't so expensive, because I'd be like, here, wear this. This is what I see every day. But they're probably really expensive, and they'd probably break. Okay. Anyway, um, my mom's like, well, I have an idea for you. You know, we can put you in a simulator, and you can try and do your job, and you'll see how it feels. I think that sounds good. And that didn't happen, but I just thought it was funny that she got so mad, and she, like, we can make that happen. Like, um, yeah, I mean, there are a lot of cringeworthy moments, even from complete strangers. Um, I was actually on the bus talking to someone, and she found out I spoke Spanish. And, you know, we're talking in Spanish, and she goes, well, I can see you, I can tell you have a little bit of vision, obviously, because I have glasses on. And I go, yes, I do. You know, she's like, that's good, because basically, she told me, like, I'd be completely screwed, and I wouldn't be able to do anything if I didn't have any vision. Who says that to someone? That's so rude. Um, anyway, that is, I think that's all I want to say. And I'm sorry for the technical difficulty. If you watch this later and there's like, I think there's like a pause. There's probably like a pause. Um, and I'm really sorry for that one viewer that happened to. So yeah, so I'm really sorry about that technical difficulty. I checked if it was charged. Okay, anyway. So that's all I want to say. And if you have any comments or questions, please leave it in the comment section. Or if you like this video, please leave it in the comment section. And again, I'm not trying to make people feel angry. I just want to educate people, and I love doing that through YouTube, because YouTube is a really great thing. So, I know that this live stream was all over the place. I just had some technical difficulties. So, I'll be back really soon with another book review. I'm reading, I'm reading a book about, it's called Caroline, and it's like it's a novel about the mother of Laura Ingalls from Little House on the Prairie, and it's really interesting. So it's not that long of a book, so I should be able to finish it really quickly. I think it's 13 hours on Audible. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you got something out of this. This is what I kind of want. So have a good day or evening wherever you are. Bye, guys.